Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This pass into the arms of Snead, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. To throw again on second down, Jackson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he couldn't get rid of the football, trying to buy a little time, but he'll just tuck it and go down.
Brandon, so often we talk about whether or not a quarterback was surprised by the pressure, by the blitz. Most of the time, they're not surprised by that, but the speed in which someone gets there. And on this play, I don't think he had any other chance or choice.
Are they taught in that situation just to tuck it and go down?
Yeah, when you don't even have an opportunity to look downfield and assess what's going on, cover it, take care of the football. Don't turn something bad into something worse.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Watson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's got this down to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Back to the air. Watson on second down. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Here's Watson escaping the pressure right, fighting to stay upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. On second down, Ingram. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Throwing on second down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Watson, flushed out right. He finds his target, Fuller. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But
he rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On second down now. It's Ingram. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Jackson dancing to his left. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He's going to let this one go deep, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, but it'll be second down. On 2nd and 10, Jackson flushed to his right. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step back. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to be intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep, the veteran, Ted Ginn. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, the spin. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, We know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second and 11 now. Watson steps away to his left. Completion left side to Miller. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second and 6. Watson forced out to his left. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a second and long after the holding call. A shotgun snap for Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT, his first touchdown on the year. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A try here for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Texans 7, Ravens nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Again on second and 10, it's Jackson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Trying to lay one up deep. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson. Flush to his right. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 16 yards, a 1st down. Jackson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now the pass brought in by Roberts. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Chris Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3.
Ravens 6.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Buying time to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Here's Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turn the ball over. Terrible.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. Watson with a give to Miller. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now it's Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 7-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out here in the eye. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Ingram. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Tucker's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. He's back to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. 3rd down here. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.